All right, guys, how's it going out there? Rooster here in Tennessee with another radio for you. This one is going up on the website, roostercb.com, under used and special items. Kenwood TS590. This is the SG version. Nice little kind of compact. I wouldn't say compact, but relatively small HF rig. Does all kinds of stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to get into every single feature of it. I will go over some of the things that are necessary to operate the radio. But if you're new to these, not familiar with them, and this is going to be your first HF rig, I would highly recommend picking up a manual. Otherwise, there's a lot of stuff on here that you're not going to recognize that's not on a standard CB radio. Now, HF rigs are super nice. Generally, they're gonna outperform a standard CB on a sideband. Now, some of them sound good on AM, some of them don't, but it's not going to sound like a typical CB radio on AM. The Kenwood 590, one reason why it was very appealing to me, I wanted one for a long time, is because they actually do sound pretty good on AM. They sound acceptable. Now, you can tell that they're a HF rig, but they don't sound wimpy or anything like that. They actually got a pretty dang good sound to them with the right microphone. So I really like the 590. It's tempting for me to hold on to it and keep it, but I really have no need because I have the ICOM 7700. So if I want to talk on an HF rig, I'll hook it up and talk on it. And the Kenwood's probably not going to get any playtime. Nice radios though. They do run off a power supply. I've just got it hooked up over here. We're running 14.7, but here's the cables that come off of it. They've got it doubled up on the wire going into a Anderson clip over here. Now you'll need this part if you decide to continue with the Anderson clip. You'll need to get this yourself. This is just my little test pigtail that I use. But 50 amps should run it easily. Probably 25 or 30 amps will run this radio. We'll check it on sideband and see what it's actually drawing. But you will need a power supply, to run this thing. Now to turn it on, just show you guys real quick. Here's the power button, and fires right up there. Now, one thing important about this radio, it does have this multi-knob over here. So when you use this knob serves all kinds of purposes. So we can kind of pick what we want to do. That's your mic, I think that's your mic gain right there. And then here is your power level. We're on sideband, so it goes up to 100. This is your TX monitoring, which is talkback. So we can turn it up and down here. That's their way of, that's their word for talkback, their term for talkback. And it actually does have a talkback in it. So thought that was kind of funny. Something that's normally associated with CB radios, talkback, and this HF rig has it. Does have a preamp. It does have an attenuator to knock the receive down. It does have a couple of antenna jacks on it, so you could technically run this thing with two separate stations. Let's say you've got a ground plane setup that you run, like I do. I have two different setups, one for the ground plane, one for the beam. You don't necessarily have to have two different radios to do that. You could use this one radio if that's what you wanted to do. Now I use two different radios because it's just a little easier for me to do that. I don't like messing with the settings on my radios or anything, and my amps are different on each. But theoretically, you could run this radio for your beam, your ground plane. You know, you have two different ground planes up, you have two different beams. You could use this radio for both. We'll show you that it receives. Let's go to AM, which our modes of operation are right here. So we just push this button. Now we're on AM. Keying up the Cobra 90 in the background, so it does receive very well. We're going to go over here and hold the power button. And we're just going to turn this all the way up. This is the highest setting for AM, and we'll go ahead and test our output. Comes with a Kenwood hand mic. This is just what it came with when I got it, so this is what I'll ship it with. You'll probably want to put a little bit better mic on there, but this thing isn't terrible. I mean, this will get you by until you get something better. 100 watt slug, so AM, and we're keying a little bit over 20 watts. And on HF rigs, they will back up when you talk into the mic on average. That's just normal. It's nothing new. There's a lot of older radios that do that as well. if you've had the 1950s and 60s AM transmitters, they will back up a little bit on average power too. So that's normal for a HF rig. My ICOM 7700 probably does it way worse than this. It'll probably back up to 15 watts, but this one's going from 21 watts down to about 20 or 19. Now, PEP on AM, check 1 2 3, audio 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 check 1 2 3. 60 watts. Again, where this thing really shines is sideband, but it's not bad on AM. Let's turn our power level down to 5, and we'll just come over here and key up again. Check, check, audio, check, audio, check, audio, check, audio. About 12 or 14 watts PEP. And then to get an accurate carrier, around 4 watts or so. Hello, hello, and just kind of standing still at 4 watts. So it goes down to 4 watts up to around 20, and that is on AM. So now we want to go sideband. We just come over here. We're now on sideband. We've got the power level at 100. Let's check and see what this thing's going to do. PEP, audio check 1 2 3, audio check 1 2 3, audio check, about 90 watts or so PEP. So my meter may actually be reading a little bit tight, or it could be because we've got all this wire running through here. Even though it is doubled up, we are probably getting just a little bit of loss running through all that. So doing around 90 watts or so PEP. Now, how much is it drawing? Well, because it runs off power supply, we can actually tell you that. Check, check, audio, audio. 15 amps. So a 20 amp power supply would run this radio even on sideband because it's drawing 15 amps or less. I think that's about it, guys. There's nothing else to really say about it. I mean, there's plenty that I could go into talking about it and showing. But you get the gist of it. Nice working radio. For people that like HF rigs, I'm going to sell this one below market value. Plus, again, guys, you get to see a test video of it, so you're not buying a pig in a poke or whatever. So you know exactly what you're getting when you get this radio. I'll take some pictures of it, get it listed up on the website. Shipping will be included in the price, so when you see the price of it, that includes shipping. That's it, guys. Questions, comments, shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. Appreciate everybody's support of the channel. Please check out the website, roostercb.com. Kenwood TS590sg. Nice radio. Appreciate it, guys. Rooster in Tennessee. See you, bye.